Welcome to Wine Library TV. I am your host, Gary Vaynerchuk. And this, my friends, is the Thunder Show, aka the internet's most passionate wine program. And as you can see, it's not difficult because it's a loud blue sweater. I like it. Except green would have been better.
Okay.
But
I've got a little bit
there
of
you go. Nice work. We have a guest who emailed me not too long ago. Benjamin, why don't you tell the Vaniacs who you are, what you're doing here?
Absolutely. I'm in town promoting, my name's Benjamin Christie. I'm in town promoting our new venture, Gourmet Ads. And also we're here talking about food and a little bit of wine. And these Australian wines.
And you are from?
From Sydney, Australia.
Very nice. And when you emailed me, you said you were a chef.
Absolutely. We did some videos a while ago, and actually our videos are on Hulu as well.
Right.
So we did a cooking show a few years back called Dining Down Under.
Okay.
Which has gone in 50 countries now. It's on Hulu, Juiced, and
online play or a television play?
It was originally a television play.
Did it make it to TV or no?
It did.
Okay.
It was television, and then we're sort of rerunning it online.
Sure.
So you can go to diningdownunder.com.
How long did it run?
We did 13 apps.
13.
So, yep.
That's an unlucky number.
Yeah.
That's why I didn't. Okay, so when you got here, you were downstairs. Matt kind of welcomed you, and I told Matt, why don't you knock yourself out and pick the wines.
Well, I had a big selection to choose from. You
had
a great selection of Australian wines downstairs.
Did you see both sections? We had them downstairs
I
and
did,
upstairs?
I did, and also the cage
That's
as
right,
well.
that's right. Gets a little more serious in there. So you picked these three.
Yep.
And what was the theory behind these three choices?
Well, the
First one?
Dierenberg, the Hermit Crab, one of my favourite wines.
Is it a popular wine that, because it's a huge play in the U.S. I think we've even done it on Wine Library TV before, right? I feel like we've done the Hermit Crab. Big play down there?
It is. I think it's just a great wine at a great price. Like it retails, I think, about $15-16 at home. How much is it here?
12.
Okay.
That's what happens when you make no profit.
I like it. I know the winemaker, Chester. He's a bit of a wild character. I don't know if you ever met him.
I've never met Chester. Have you gotten drunk with him in the past?
I have.
Severely?
Yes.
Did anybody vomit?
No, but then we did a video.
So first you got drunk and then you did the video.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Well, we were in his restaurant first.
A lot of people think I'm drunk all the time. So
we were in his restaurant down in McLaren Vale, and he came across and said, "Yeah, let's try this, and now let's try another vintage of this. Let's try another vintage."
And away you
And
went.
it went to like 5 o'clock, and he said, "You know what? We're going to do a video now." I was like, "Ooh."
And tell us the next selection.
I'm not.
Okay.
I've seen it in wine shops down under.
This comes from Kudong, right?
Yep. It's a Pinot. They're in at the moment down under, and
Are they
easy
hot?
drinking.
Have they gotten hot?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
It's sort of that easy drinking sort of, on a hot day. I mean, it's pretty hot down in Australia at the moment,
like real hot.
real hot. No blue sweaters.
No blue sweaters. Barely blue shorts, right?
Exactly. And Penfolds is synonymous with Australia. Yeah. So I picked that.
Is it looked upon as like an average play down there, or is there a lot of pride behind the product? Does it feel like in the U.S. we have the Gallows of the world, and at some level it's kind of like the same old stuff. Though there should be respect that they make some good efforts. Penfolds, I remember when I went down there. I've been down a couple times. What's the pulse of the brand there down?
It's a premium brand in the market.
Yeah.
I mean, they do make cheaper wines around. Sure. 10, 12,
but what people
15.
talk about is the Grange and the...
I was about to say that, yeah. I mean, it is still very much the pinnacle of wines in Australia. Sure. And, I mean, how much is that here?
The bin 389 is $24.
Yeah. See, that would retail down under, I'm guessing, about $40 to $50.
Yeah, understood. So. Good. All right, so let's get into the vinos. Let's go with wine number one. Mott, you ready to rock and roll? The Dierenberg Hermit Crab 2007, 90 points J. Miller, which is a good score, $12 US, 58% Viognier, 42% Marsanne, classic whites from the Rhone Valley. Let's rinse it, actually. Classic white grapes that do a lot of damage in the Rhone, and have done some really nice things. Thank you, my friend. Have done some really nice things down under. We're seeing a lot more white Rhone varietal plays, a lot more Viogniers, Marsanne, Roussanne down under.
Yep.
Is there any push down there for consumption of that, or is that still minor leagues like it is here?
I think a lot of the wineries that are doing things like that are just trying to be different.
Yeah, just for the sake of being different.
It's not a Riesling, it's not a Sauvignon, it's different. But the story behind this is called the Hermit Crab. One of the things that Chester does, he said it's serious about winemaking till you put it in the bottle. Once it's in the bottle,
It's time
he
to have
comes
fun.
up with a name.
The
So
stump jump and
Yeah.
laughing magpie.
All that stuff, right? So the
Yep.
story, I can tell you the story between the hermit crab.
Please do share.
The whole McLaren Vale area was underwater originally,
right.
right?
Yeah.
So there's hermit crabs in the soil.
Like still.
Well, I
They're
think
dead.
they're fossils down there.
Yeah,
Right?
I was like, damn, hermit crabs are tough. All right.
So they found some around the around where the grapes are growing on the vineyard. So it's called the hermit crab, and that's
neat.
the history of that.
Very neat. 12 bones, 90 points, Jay Miller. I mean, it's great press, great score price ratio. Let's see what's going on aromatically. I'm getting a lot. What are you picking up on the nose, Benjamin?
Peach.
Yeah, and a lot of citrus. I get a very interesting like lemon lime kind
Passion
of
fruit as well.
Are you picking up passion
Yeah, a
fruit?
little bit of passion fruit. Like just when you cut the passion fruit and it just opens up. That's the kind of passion fruit flavor I'm getting.
Aromatically, it's extremely bright.
Yeah, it's a I would prefer to have had this a little bit chilled. Mm-hmm. But
Now you know I'm a big room temperature white guy because I feel like as you chill it, you start losing some of the flavor profile.
sure, but remember it's hot down under at the moment. You
I
need a bit of chill, right?
Very fair.
It's
Very fair.
freezing
Are
outside.
you cold? Are you finding yourself cold?
Yeah.
In Sydney, how cold does it get in Sydney?
Not as cold as this.
It's cold.
No,
yeah.
it would probably get
as
sort
cold
of-
as it gets.
I'll try and give you a month comparison.
Please.
Probably like sort of April or May in New York would be the coldest we get. Okay, all year round. Isn't that cool? Are you moving down?
Wow,
under?
I'll be honest with you. I'm a big fan of the cold.
Okay.
I feel like it makes you tougher.
Okay.
I feel tougher than you, Benjamin.
I just think it must much. You look outside and there's snow that deep.
I know.
We don't see that.
I know. I know. How do you like snow?
I've never really experienced it, to be honest.
Like a full. You've never really fully
Nah.
pledged. Like you've
Nah.
never been there during a snowstorm.
No.
You need to make
There was
that
a bit of
happen.
when we were in New York the other day. There was
Right.
a little bit
here
of
and
snow
there,
coming
but
down, but not heavy snow.
Right.
No.
And do you find it interesting? You look at it. It's like to me that'd be like
It's kind of cool,
right.
You know.
It's like it's not something you're like when I went to Australia and I saw a kangaroo bouncing around. I was
Sure.
like, that is amazing.
Yeah.
Whereas
That's
you're
a good
like,
comparison. Yeah.
You know what I mean? What do you think about this wine?
I love it. I'm a big fan. So you're gonna have to.
I'll be honest. Even though I'm tougher, you're a bigger guy, and I'm glad we don't have to throw down. I agree with you. I think this is an extremely good effort.
Yeah.
It's showing very well, very silky smooth on the mid palate,
Yeah.
which really impresses me on this wine.
It's not that acidic at all, is it?
No, but there is some acid.
Yeah, sure.
There is, and which I'm looking for that, Benjamin. I'm a fan of some acid, and so to me it it definitely has that. On the flip side, I also get a very intriguing, almost like guava flavor on the back end.
Yeah, true.
Right?
Yeah.
And I've never picked that up prior, and I've had a lot of vintages of this. I haven't had the 05, and excuse me, the 07.
07, yeah.
I'm thinking about the 05, which is the last one I had that I didn't really like. It was the first time I didn't love it. It was kind of like okay.
Yeah.
This to me is a throwback. It feels like it's really, it's back. I mean, this is really bouncing. I'll be honest with you, it would have been fun for me to kind of like diss on it because you love it so much, but I just can't. It's very good. I mean, I think the acid fruit balance here is almost perfect.
Yeah. No, I agree. And they're huge in the McLaren Vale area. He is seen. Chester is seen as sort of a flagship winemaker in that region, and is looked upon through his peers. And what I love about it, I go on by cases of this stuff. And I don't have a commercial relationship with them at all.
I understand. You're just fond of him and the wines.
What I like about it is the price point. I mean,
Yeah.
it's a great drinking wine for $15.
Yeah.
And sometimes you've got to spend $35 or $40 to get a good drinking wine, and that's probably the reason I like it the most.
You know what's funny about this? His premium red, the Dead Arm,
Yeah.
was probably one of the first wines that I had that completely just took my face off. I was a blank face. I mean, I just loved it, and it's gotten pricey.
Yeah.
It's gotten pricey.
What's it like here?
I mean, it's gotten into the 60s and 70s.
Okay.
I mean, it's starting to get pricey. But that being said, I agree with you. I think this is one of the most consistent producers of wine, not only in Australia but in the world. Between Stump Jump and Laughing Magpie and the Dead Arm, and this, I think they rip the house down.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm going to score this wine 90 points as well. I think Jay Miller rocked it out. What about on your scale? Where are you at?
It's a 5 out of 5 for me.
5 out of 5.
It's
5's my favorite number.
I like.
You missed. Excuse me. I'm sorry to interrupt you. You missed 85 the other day. Big.
No, you said 84, 85.
Nice work, Mont. See, viewer who said Mont missed 85 on the College Humor Show, you're wrong. Good work, Mont. Okay.
So you've got your ratings like out of 100.
Yep.
I like to refer to wines by the day.
By the day. So this is a Saturday?
That to me is like a Wednesday or a Thursday.
A Wednesday or a Thursday.
It's something midweek.
Yeah.
I mean, Aussies are used to drinking.
Constantly.
Yeah. Well, beer's probably the biggest thing, but
Coopers.
Yeah, Coopers. I mean, the big things down under a Hahn Premium.
Yes.
Hahn Premium Light. That's a big one. Cascade is huge here as well. And Coopers, I know, are big in America. So this is like a Wednesday or a Thursday one. It's just that my everyday drinking wine.
Sure. Very cool. Good job. Let's move on. Let's see what this Pinot has to offer. This comes from Kuong. This is the Masal 2006 Pinot Noir. 24 U.S. bones, which is a pretty fair price for Pinot in the U.S. these days. Let's do a little rinse. Done a lot of Pinots from Australia, kind of like 7, 8, 9 years ago. I've been not tasting as many lately, so this is pretty fun for me. I'm glad to hear there's a lot of hype going on now, so it'll be interesting to see what happens in the U.S. market.
We're seeing a lot of Pinots at sort of that 10, 12 Pinot
really?
Price
point?
Yeah.
Well, that's definitely something that I think could do exceptionally well in the U.S. market. It'll be interesting to see as they trickle in. Let's give it a sniffy sniff.
So I'm getting plum there.
Are you?
Obviously not the same sort of plums in.
No, listen. Everybody picks up different things. I'm far from the nose god. I'm picking up bacon fat. And you're not. We're like smell like two.
I got bacon fat when I walked in downstairs today.
Yes, and cheese and steak.
Yeah.
I get a very subtle bacon fat. I get strawberries quite a bit on the nose as well here.
See, I'm plummy. I'm sorry.
No, there's nothing to be sorry about. Everybody has their own palate and nose. You're plummy. And if this doesn't tell you what wine's all about, and by the way, let's go read the reviews from 30 other people on the internet and Parker and Spectator and whoever. We're all going to come from different directions. This is why it's always about your own palate. Forget listening to me, to Benjamin. Well, maybe the light blue. Mott, I would definitely listen to. But, for the most part, you don't want to listen to most people. You want to listen to yourself and what you're picking up. Plus, we have different experiences. You're darn right. Yeah. The plums that maybe you're more familiar with are not the same kind of plums we get in the U.S. Yeah. So that's a big play. I mean, to me, it's shocking. I'm dumbfounded, like this, that you don't pick up the bacon fat, because to me, that bounces hardcore. So, I get it. So
I love bacon. Don't get me wrong.
I love bacon, too. No. Are you picking up a little strawberry action?
A little bit of strawberry,
I think that's kind of open, right, as it's opening up a little bit, right?
I didn't get it at first.
I'm getting more and more of it as I swirl as well. Let's give it a whirl. Let's see what's going on here.
I'm not a spitter, you can say so. I'm not driving this afternoon.
No, you're good. Enjoy yourself. Lay back. Can we get this man a recliner? What do you think about this?
It's really easy drinking. As I said, like the last one, it's sort of this would be something that I would buy on a Wednesday, Thursday, or even a Friday.
I wouldn't want to see you on a Wednesday. It's not my wine for a Wednesday.
Easy drinking.
Do you think it's too easy drinking for the price point?
Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah.
Though Benjamin and I did not agree on a lot of the nose, I think on the palate we both agree. Listen, it's flavorful.
Yeah.
And it's enjoyable, but it's very simplistic. To me, you can definitely find $12 to $15 efforts of Pinot Noir to taste exactly like this.
I agree.
There's good raspberry on the mid palate. I get the raspberry quite well. And there's a nice tannins on the back end, and it's well built. Don't misunderstand me. This is not a flabby effort. It's just a flavor profile, in my opinion, is extremely basic Pinot Noir. You'd pull it out in a blind tasting as Pinot for sure. There's no missing that. No. There's a little coat of like back end leather. I almost get like a catcher's mitt on the back end, which I'm enjoying quite a bit. Which I think makes it a little bit neater. But overall, it's a pretty simplistic Pinot Noir.
Yeah, there's not much complexity there at all.
I totally agree with you.
So, hit and miss.
Hit and miss. I'm going to score this wine 84 points. I saw you were wiping your eye. I'd give it an 85. Sorry, guys. No, 84. I'm feeling firm. Just a poor effort. For 24 bones, I'll be very, very, very honest. You need to highly consider giving me 96 quarters instead, and I'll entertain you for an hour than buying this. Let's move on. All right. Let's see what's going on now here with the iconic Penfolds 389.
Sure is.
Let's give it a rinse. Penfolds Bin 389 2005 Cab Shiraz, $24 US, 52% Cab, 48% Shiraz. One of my all-time classic favorite brands, because Bin 389 in 90, God, I don't even remember how far back. One of the first big buys I ever made for Wine Library, I think when it was still called Shoppers Discount Liquors.
Okay.
When my dad's part over there with my dad was a Bin 389, maybe it's like 92, 93, got a big score in the Spectator. I called the distributor and I bought it all before anybody could get it. It was like my big coup. Like, I did it and we sold it and it was great. And so I've always had a soft spot for this brand, and specifically the Bin 389. It's always been extremely dark and dense. And right again, look at this color. I mean, this is so dark, just pitch black. Let's give it a sniffy sniff, Benjamin. What are you picking up on the nose?
Darker plums.
Now, this time I agree with you. See, like, this time I completely get plum.
Yeah.
And that's what's kind of funny. To me, like, but it's a different kind of plum, I assume, in your world, no?
I can't speak from experience. I haven't tried plums here yet.
I understand, but this
Like a
plum,
blood
but
plum.
you feel like you smell the same plum in this wine as you did in that
No,
wine?
much stronger.
Okay, yeah, me too. I mean, I think it's like much more like the middle of a plum. Now, I'm getting a little bit of the oak monster.
Yeah.
All right, thanks for reacting. It's like real plum. I mean, like, excuse me, like there's a little bit of oak. There's clearly oak here.
Yeah.
And a little bit too much for my on the nose. But
Okay.
it depends. Are you an oak fan?
In the right wine, I am.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If it's got enough fruit to balance it.
Absolutely.
And this may, because it looks like it could. But it's definitely there. You're definitely getting a little of that vanilla cream oak kind of thing going on. Some black currant. Let's give it a whirl.
Definitely black currant.
Right?
Yeah.
Like heavy.
Yeah.
Especially when you get right here.
Wow. That is not a Wednesday wine.
Wow. That has a lot of oak in it.
And pretty complex as well.
I mean, this is a big wine. But this, to me, let me not get beat up by Benjamin. Number one, if you are a drinker of cake bread, Camus, these big Cabernets with heavy oak, Napa Valley Cabs, Signorello, Richard Partridge, on and on and on, Minor, Schaefer, you will like this wine. It's got big...
Yeah. Balls.
Yes, thank you. I don't know why I was trying to censor myself. It's got big balls. It's massive. It's got a lot of fruit. The black currant is becoming even more obvious on the flavor. I also get black raspberry, not red raspberry, black raspberry, which I learned from episode 148, Mott.
It's like just a massive covering of the tongue.
No question. Completely takes over your palate.
Yeah.
Completely. And it's very smooth.
Yep.
And it's very rich, but it's way too over-oaked for me.
Okay.
When the oak gets this heavy, as much as I believe you can buy $50, $60 wines that taste like this, I also believe, especially from your fine nation, that you can find $12 to $15 plays.
Sure.
Right? I mean, and I can see by the reaction.
But not from such an iconic wine.
I don't want to pay for the iconic name, though.
Sure, but some people do. Some people look at
no question.
Some people go into a wine shop and buy by brand. I mean,
some?
Okay.
Most. No doubt.
So,
but that's why I started this show. I don't want people to just buy Penfolds for the sake of the iconic brand.
Yeah.
Taste this at 24. Listen, there's nothing wrong with this wine. What bothers me is that because when you get over oak like this, it starts taking a lot out of the terroir. I think they'd be better suited to let these vines where this is good fruit. Let the fruit speak for itself, because when you start coating that oak, you start putting on makeup. And, and to me, a lot of people could, it's like, anything could look good with makeup on.
Yeah.
And then I think a lot of other people are over-oaking their wines that don't have the fruit source that this has.
Sure.
And sell for 12 to 15, but can compete with a wine like this. Because when at the end of the day, I'm barely tasting the raspberry and the cassis. And right now, at this point, I felt like I bit a cricket paddle. But, I mean...
Yeah, absolutely.
And that, to me, is a big concern globally in the wine world. I'm not picking on Penfolds. I think this is, again,
Sure.
I'm recommending this wine over a lot of $40, $50 California wines. Or, for that matter, there's some Bordeaux that are starting to get a little oaky. And guess what? Spain? You're not out of the, off the woods either. I mean, what am I trying to say there?
The woods.
Off the woods.
Off the oak.
Yeah. That's true. I'm thinking, you're not going to get out of trouble either. Oh, God, I'm messing up here. I feel that most of the world is getting a little oak happy. I think people are starting to push back on it. But it bothers me and it hurts me for a brand like this that I think could bring so much more to the table and by letting its terroir and its land and its varietals speak, that I think it puts itself in a disadvantage by going with this much new oak and oak-driven flavors because it starts tasting more like things that are inferior in quality of fruit.
Okay.
I articulated that at the end there.
Now, if you were to match that with food, I'm thinking of, a dirty big T-bone steak.
Me too, dirty. I
on the
want
barbie.
like dirt on it.
Yeah.
I'm serious. I'm with
talking
you. Yeah.
like that thick, on the barbie.
Yep.
And, I think that you'll get a totally different flavour profile.
I think that you're right. I think what happens is when you get the juices and the fat from steaks, oaky
Cuts
wines
through
like
it
this,
in many
they
ways.
do very well. And that's why, you go to Morton's Steakhouse in the city
Sure.
tonight, you'll see nothing but Cabernets from California.
Yeah.
And Barossa Valley Shiraz. And wines from Toro, in Spain. But at the same token, I'll be honest with you. We can go downstairs right now, pull out 3 or 4 more Australian Cab Shiraz blends at $15 that taste like this.
Okay.
No doubt about it.
Yeah.
And I think that is a danger zone for brands like this. And I'm passionate. I'm hoping that people watch this because I know a lot of people in the industry do that make wine. That they give thought to that because I really do believe that they're masking and they're diffusing their biggest advantage, which is their source of fruit.
Fruit, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so that's what I feel. I mean, so to me, this is a Saturday wine for you, you said.
Absolutely, yeah.
To me, this is an 87-point wine. I can't get super pumped about it. The oak bothers me. The fruit is really good, and that's why you're not getting into those normal oak monster price points. But to me, this would be a pass at 24 buns. 24 buns now, Mott. But good stuff on this show overall. The white wine, in my opinion. See, I would definitely buy 2 bottles of this instead of a bottle of this. Not even think twice.
Well, see, I'm a white wine lover.
And I am too.
And I'll drink red when I'm eating
Food, big food.
meats and,
Yep.
and chickens and things, or even sometimes tuna.
Yep.
Tuna can go well with,
oh, sure.
with like a Pinot or something light that doesn't overpower the tuna. But yeah, I agree. Let's head back to the
Yeah, you want to hold away?
the crap.
So why don't you rinse a little bit here? Why don't you do the normal honor of a guest of Wine Library TV? You get to ask the Vayner Nation the question of the day.
Question of the day.
You fire away. They'll answer in the comments below. Anything you'd like.
Okay. What's your favourite Australian wine? There you go. Keep it simple.
You know what? I like that. I like that. We had somebody on the other day, and I wanted them to ask that kind of question, and they went like, I don't know what they said. It wasn't the one with the big tooth, man. Great question. Thank you so much for being here.
Excellent.
Really
I appreciate
Great
your time.
choices. Really good stuff. The white wine dominated.
Yeah, absolutely.
You, with a little bit of me, and people with passion from down under like this, and great blue sweater. Mott was happy. It's like Giantsy. It is the Giants blue, actually. We're changing the wine world.